People sleep peaceably in their beds at night only because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf. If you want a vision of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face, forever. Those who abjure violence can do so only because others are committing violence on their behalf. The very concept of objective truth is fading out of the world. Lies will pass into history. Happiness can exist only in acceptance. All the war propaganda, all the screaming and lies and hatred, comes invariably from people who are not fighting. Oceania was at war with Eurasia, therefore Oceania had always been at war with Eurasia. Early in life I had noticed that no event is ever correctly reported in a newspaper. Every war when it comes, or before it comes, is represented not as a war but as an act of self-defense against a homicidal maniac. Freedom is the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. The quickest way of ending a war is to lose it. We sleep safe in our beds because rough men stand ready in the night to visit violence on those who would do us harm. There are some ideas so wrong that only a very intelligent person could believe in them. Serious sport has nothing to do with fair play. It is bound up with hatred, jealousy, boastfulness, disregard of all rules, and sadistic pleasure in witnessing violence. In other words, it is war minus the shooting. The essence of being human is that one does not seek perfection. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. War against a foreign country only happens when the moneyed classes think they are going to profit from it. Nationalism is power hunger tempered by self-deception. Power is not a means, it is an end. One does not establish a dictatorship in order to safeguard a revolution. One makes the revolution in order to establish the dictatorship. War is war. The only good human being is a dead one. Each generation imagines itself to be more intelligent than the one that went before it, and wiser than the one that comes after it. Sometimes the first duty of intelligent men is the restatement of the obvious. We have now sunk to a depth at which restatement of the obvious is the first duty of intelligent men. To survive it is often necessary to fight, and to fight you have to dirty yourself. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. Men can only be happy when they do not assume that the object of life is happiness. One does not establish a dictatorship in order to safeguard a revolution. One makes a revolution in order to establish a dictatorship. So much of left-wing thought is a kind of playing with fire by people who don't even know that fire is hot. Myths which are believed and tend to become true. I doubt whether classical education ever has been or can be successfully carried out without corporal punishment. The atom bombs are piling up in the factories. The police are prowling through the cities. The lies are streaming from the loudspeakers, but the earth is still going round the sun. Advertising is the rattling of a stick inside a swill bucket. The essential act of war is destruction, not necessarily of human lives, but of the products of human labor. We may find in the long run that tinned food is a deadlier weapon than the machine gun. The nationalist not only does not disapprove of atrocities committed by his own side, but he has a remarkable capacity for not even hearing about them. A family with the wrong members in control, that, perhaps, is as near as one can come to describing England in a phrase. But if thought corrupts language, language can also corrupt thought. War is evil, but it is often the lesser evil. Freedom is the freedom to say that 2 + 2 make 4. If that is granted, all else follows. No advance in wealth, no softening of manners, no reform or revolution has ever brought human equality a millimeter nearer. Progress is not an illusion. It happens, but it is slow and invariably disappointing. Whatever is funny is subversive. Every joke is ultimately a custard pie. A dirty joke is a sort of mental rebellion. Men are only as good as their technical development allows them to be. At 50, everyone has the face he deserves. The aim of a joke is not to degrade the human being, but to remind him that he is already degraded. Saints should always be judged guilty until they are proved innocent. Whoever is winning at the moment will always seem to be invincible.